Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 808, Riff, Raff, recorded live on January 13th, 2022. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
And I am Godzilla T.
And we are here without Haas tonight. He has some family stuff that he's taking care of. But we're here. It is going to be a little bit of a random show tonight because, one, I don't have anything prepared because it has been a slam of a week for me. And the last podcast isn't even released by the time that we're recording this, so I'm behind on that too. And I am exhausted because I've been up late helping Bobby get his last achievements for the 360 game. So I'm just peachy right now. How about you, GT?
I'm crazy!
Oh my. That sounds like Claptrap almost. that voice filter.
Anyway, I'm good. I actually intended to get online and try to help people get achievements, but I get home and it was really hard to get off the couch.
I feel you there.
They've been running me pretty hard this week so far. I come home and my legs are like jello.
I bet. Do you have a lot of the people coming in because of cold and snow and that kind of stuff, or is it just...
No, they're just nuts.
Okay. Nuts and bolts.
It's the same. It's the same reason. I don't understand this. I really don't understand this. Okay, especially last year. Last year, like half the country was off work. Okay, like not bringing in a paycheck.
Right. Because pandemic. Yep.
We set record sales every month last year.
People were home. Gotta get stuff done.
I don't mean just broke them by a little bit, $50, $60, $100,000. We smashed them. As in, we will never achieve those numbers again. Smashed.
That's either impressive, or I guess it is impressive, but also very odd.
Well, the other thing you have to keep in mind is the company I work for, they market to people that are not working on their daily driver vehicle.
Oh, so industrial?
This is their restoration vehicle, or their, this is their grandpa's vehicle they're just trying to keep alive, or, this is their weekend cruiser.
So kind of like antique... older cars?
Well, they're classic trucks.
Okay.
Yeah. As Laird said, hobby car.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. We do get people that come in and they buy parts for their daily drivers.
Sure.
But you don't come in the middle of a pandemic, order $10,000 worth of parts for your daily driver.
No.
It baffles me to no end. And I mean, even now, yes, things are a lot better, but it's really weird.
I mean, you bring up an interesting point because, people have free time, so I guess those with the disposable income to do that, they're going to hop on that because they got nothing better to do.
Yeah, it's just odd.
Sure. No, I get that.
Just really odd.
I mean, heck, we started having construction done on our house in the middle of the pandemic. Granted, we were both still working, but...
Yeah. I mean, if I'd got laid off from my job, which thankfully, when this whole mess started, I was in a necessary job determined by the, wonderful government because, they're smart. Anyway, if I'd have got laid off, the last thing I'd be doing is dragging my project truck out and working on it.
Okay.
No, it's already hard to find parts, Laird, because we can't get them out. We can't get them out of Taiwan.
Oh.
It's not a joke.
Oh.
It is the truth.
Okay.
We just can't get them from there to here in a timely fashion, at least.
Interesting.
At the beginning of November, we paid extra to get a rush on containers, and they brought 18 containers on one Saturday. Okay.
Okay.
They can, when we're fully staffed, they can do about 5 containers a week.
Okay.
Empty them, put them away, and, everything where it belongs.
Great.
So they walk in Monday morning to find 18 of them sitting there. And they give you 3 days to empty them and get them back.
Get them back,
or they charge you rent on the container.
Get them back as in they come back 3 days later.
Call the shipping company and tell them to come and get their container.
Okay, so it's not like you have. Okay, still 3 days is not a lot of time.
No,
and they're I'm assuming they're full size shipping containers.
Yeah, they're 40-foot shipping containers, not the big ones.
That's a lot of merchandise
footers.
To move.
Yeah. So now we had 18 containers. We had to get them unloaded as quickly as possible. So it takes longer to put the parts up than it does to get them off the container. So you have to stick them somewhere.
Place to pile them. Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, for a while, one end of our warehouse was solid parts. You couldn't go up and down the aisles.
Oh my gosh. Was it just like pallets upon pallets of stuff?
Not stacked.
Okay.
But they were lining all of the rows. Keep in mind, each row is only about, it's probably about 2 skids wide. So, standard skids is 4 foot by 4 foot. So each aisle is only about 8. Yeah, each aisle is about 7-8 feet wide.
Got it.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Well, I mean, some of them aren't even that wide. They're just wide enough to get the forklift down with a pallet on it.
Okay.
They had all the rows lined with skids of product or pallets of product to the point where when they had to pull parts for shipping orders, they'd have to move 10 or 20 pallets to get to the parts.
No. Oh, no. Yikes.
Some of them, it was just the orders were delayed because we had to get the product out of the way before we could even attempt to pull the order.
Was the shipment just delayed and it all just came in at once, or was it really just?
Well, yeah. Have you seen a picture of the California coast lately?
Not lately. I mean, I remember the last time I heard about it. It was
Well, it's still a parking lot.
August?
Except for now we have the opposite problem. Well, kind of. Now the problem is they're getting the stuff off the docks,
but can't get out.
Empty containers are coming back, filling them back up.
Yikes. That's weird, man.
International shipping, gotta love it.
Yeah. No, I hadn't really thought about that as far as how it impacts your job. Yeah, that's weird.
And by the way, if anybody complains about shipping prices, especially anything that comes from overseas, I want to give you a hint. Container shipping was about $2,000 a container. It is now approximately $25,000 a container. So if you see your shipping go up, you know why.
Jeez.
And that doesn't cover any import taxes.
Insurance?
That is just to get the container from A to B.
Wow. That is crazy. Just probably a stupid question, but because I haven't looked into this lately at all, but is that just because there aren't enough workers due to COVID, or is that?
It's because there's not enough containers and demands are so high.
Okay.
Honestly, the biggest problem, don't get me wrong, the worker situation is a huge problem.
Sure.
There are a bunch of people out there either not willing to work or milking the system. Anybody that says they can't find a job isn't looking.
Or isn't really letting,
like I said, if anybody says they cannot find a job, they are not looking. Because
or they're being picky.
I know of at least 20 places within 3 miles of my house that can't find anybody to take a job.
Our Taco Bell at the corner of before we get onto our highway, has had like a hiring sign up for almost 2 years at this point because of.
Well, we've got a local gas station chain called Quick Trip. I'm sure everybody's probably heard of it.
Yep. QT.
Guess what their part-time pay is now? Yeah, for select positions, not across the board.
I'm guessing less than minimum wage.
$19.23 an hour, and they cannot find help.
Oh, more than minimum wage.
Significantly more than minimum wage.
That's interesting.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I mean, even despite probably not having benefits.
Trip work at a gas station. I don't care whose it is. It's a crappy job.
Oh, sure.
Because I mean, think about, you've been in line. You've seen the customers. You've listened to the customers complain about the stupidest stuff.
There are some crazy ones, and it's like you're taking it out on the person that has no control over what you're complaining about.
Exactly.
It's like, really?
And like I said, I I thought about it for about 7 seconds, because that pay would be a significant jump over what I get paid now. I can't do it.
Well, and to your point, for some of these people, it's one of those things like, I guess if they're really scrapped for money, take the job. Keep looking for other jobs that you want. But
like I said, if I'd have been laid off, I would have found a job somewhere.
Sure.
Doing something.
Might not be exactly what you want, but it's still something.
Yeah, because I can't not have a job. How about we talk about some Halo?
We can.
Other than, the crappy state of our shipping.
I mean, not too much has gone on other than we mentioned last week the Legacy Halo 360 multiplayer matchmaking is going by the wayside. Today was the last day. Looking at
Did you watch any of the final streams?
No. I helped Bobby last night get his final Halo 3 achievements, and then I went to bed.
Yeah? So how many times did you screw up his perfection first?
Just once. You saw that, huh? Did you?
Yes. It's right there on Discord. I mean, it's hard to miss.
Oh, did he share it on Discord? I haven't been on Discord at all today.
He hadn't shared the video, but he commented about it.
He mentioned on it? Okay. Yeah. But just joking around, I was like shooting where I was so he could come and try to get perfection. Then I randomly just started throwing grenades at I don't know why. But I just stuck him in the face. I'm like, okay, I guess I will not throw stickies again. Trying to go for perfection. So that was funny. I did record it from my POV. Granted, it's going to be 320p because it's a POV of 4 screens. But we did that. We managed to get him on Halo 4, Halo Reach, and Halo 3 done. We did Halo Reach on Sunday and Monday. We did Halo 4 on Tuesday. And then we did Halo 3 last night. And actually, for all of his FFA ones, he was so high level that I couldn't match up with them because they were like level 26, 31, 34. So I was too low to actually help them. But Bobby managed to get all of his achievements for all those. The only ones he doesn't have is 3 of them in Halo 2 Vista, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've got 3 in Halo 2 Vista as well. I haven't yet to be able to install. I haven't been able to install it and get it running for 3 years now. I cannot get it to work. I've tried it on multiple operating systems. I've tried it on multiple computers. It's always the live service that screws it up.
Even on, like using Project Cartographer, you can't get it working?
Oh, a Project Cartographer works fine. but you can't get achievements on that.
Gotcha.
I mean, the OG Halo 2 Vista. I mean, I even spun up VMs just to try to get it to work.
Yeah, there's a specific order that you have to do that in, which I'm sure you probably tried.
I tried. Well, it's only 2 orders. You either install the game first or you install the live services first. So,
whenever I had to reinstall it, I would always install the game first and then install the live update, then the game update, then the live update.
Yeah.
So that was my process for reinstalling Halo 2 Vista.
I tried it multiple ways and I just never could get it to work. And that kind of irritates me because I now can never get the rest of those achievements.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've got all the regular Halo achievements, so I'm good with that.
Yep. And that works.
I am so glad I finished up Halo 3 before Reach launched.
Good on you, man.
Oh, it was a grind.
Oh, I'm sure the FFA ones are a pain.
I was grinding that so hard because I wanted that done before Reach started.
Makes sense.
The FFA ones are the ones I had left. So I spent a lot of time in FFA. And keep in mind that I hate the way the weapons work in Halo 3.
Like the aiming or just like the hit scan?
All of it.
Thing?
All of it. When it comes to bullets coming out of the end of the gun, I hate it. I just never could figure out Halo 3. And I tried.
Yeah, that lead with the BR is something, man.
I just never could figure. And the funny thing is, in campaign it worked, I didn't have any problems. But whenever I get into multiplayer, I just could not get it right.
It's that network delay. Whereas, like, campaign is, like, there's obviously no delay.
Like I said, I just, whenever I was in matchmaking, even to this day, even with the updated aiming, I still can't hit Halo 3. All you have to do is watch our MCC game nights when a Halo 3 map comes up. Yeah, I tank.
MCC, I've got the aim, like, with how they've updated the aiming to more match the rest of the games, it's gotten a lot better for me, personally.
Yeah, I still can't do it.
Have you checked to see if the modern aiming, you actually have that set up for Halo 3?
Yeah, I have it set up for all the games.
Okay, just curious. And Pins with 10 gifted subs. There's that checkbox on my bingo card. Thank you, Pins.
Pins?
Hey, Panda, it's late for you. Welcome. Tonight's a play bingo card night, too, because we're just kind of shooting on the side. Pins gives more than 5 subscriptions.
Yep.
Got that one.
Damn it. I can't get bingo.
I don't think I can get a bingo tonight either.
I need the podcast numbers evenly divided by 5.
I've got that one. I don't have that. I do not have that. We'll drop some other things throughout the podcast. See who gets a bingo. You need to come up with some kind of prize if someone actually gets a bingo and can take a screenshot of it. I don't know if that would encourage cheating or not.
Well, I mean, we're here. We can verify that what happens.
Well, I mean, you could just have like 4 or 5 different cards up and just try to get one. Be like a buy system or something.
When you play bingo for real, you usually play
buy multiple cards. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not against the rules.
True, very true. Hey, Panda, thanks for dropping on by. Appreciate the birthday wishes. See you on Sunday. Hopefully your PC doesn't die again. Oh, he's
not
fainted.
Good.
He's fainted 3 times already in our campaign. 2 of them by friendly fire.
Really?
Yes, we have a malicious little bunny in our D&D campaign.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
It's no ordinary rabbit. Anyways, thanks, Pins, for gifted subs to G. Lewis, Turo, V2, don't recognize that one, Funky, Laird, Dusksander, Frogbutts, Pandas, Alice Pieces, Hayden, and Bograt. So thank you, Pins, for all that. Journey to get cheese. Yeah. Panda's character is on a journey to find cheese.
Cheese.
It's very weird. I don't have the VOD up, but in case anyone that's listening to the podcast is curious, and this counts as a tangent on the bingo card, I host a D&D campaign with some other folks that I've met through DJ, and it happens on Sundays we start around 3:30 to 4 Eastern, and it is set in typical kind of medieval, kind of like the old English time type frame stuff, typical dragons, orcs, elves, all that kind of typical D&D stuff. And we got 8 PCs involved, and then for those who know Ace, he's helping me kind of co-DM the game since I am a newbie DM. This is my 3rd time ever doing anything D&D related, and I am DMing this campaign, so it's very interesting. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens on the next session. My personal Twitch stream, if anyone's interested in that. What else Halo-wise has gone on? We'll probably do a podcast next week, because Haas did mention before he got called into familial duties that he wanted to have a retrospective on the legacy game. So next week we'll probably do kind of what we talked about, maybe do a podcast that will split up into 3, talk about Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4, just kind of taking a look back at those games, what they were like to play when they first came out, how they left an impact on the franchise, and all that goodness. Might see if we can pull in some other community folks. Definitely want to get Silver in if he's available to jump on, kind of get his perspective on things, especially since we were using his server to help get achievements for me, GT, Bobby, and the few others that actually joined us to get those achievements. Thank you, Panda. Appreciate it. Go to bed. Go get some sleep. I'll see you this weekend. Thanks for dropping by. What else happened in Halo? Oh, they're releasing a patch for Big Team soon. Ish. Yeah. Sketch and Uni went on to Twitter this week and said that a lot of the staff are starting to trickle back in from the holidays. As I mentioned on the last podcast, which for those listening on Twitch isn't out yet, hopefully out this weekend after I actually get some sleep tonight. They were off pretty much shortly after they launched the game, which probably not the best idea to launch a game and then go on leave right after.
Yeah, I'd like to know whose idea it was to launch the game in December.
Somewhere in the Xbox marketing had to have decided that was the release window. Like Microsoft, just overall, why do you schedule first-party titles to release within a month of when you go on holiday for a month? Who made that decision?
Yeah.
I get the holiday sales and whatnot, but really, I mean, you're really shooting yourselves in the foot for your first-party titles. When you release the game, it's like, okay, game's out. All those day one, week one bugs and issues. Yeah, that's yeah. And population on Halo Infinite's dropped. Not surprising.
Well, when the game launched, I knew it was going to drop.
I mean, it always does, but I mean, this drop was.
I knew it was going to drop. A, because we don't have Forge. B, we don't have co-op.
Yep.
Those are 2 big draws. And the standard matchmaking wasn't going to keep it populated for very long, especially since they released a very truncated matchmaking.
Yeah, it's just been really bad.
I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, but they screwed up.
In some ways, yeah. I mean, I will still say kudos to them for not trying to push.
I'm not saying that they didn't work their butts off.
Yeah.
But things that are missing should have been some of the first things they were working on when they started working on the multiplayer side. I get it that they had a lot on their plate.
I mean, it's really just hard to say, I guess, more or less.
They designed a new engine.
Yeah.
The co-op part, from what I understand, is part of the engine.
Well, the whole open world aspect definitely draws a lot of changes to that, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it was an easy task. It's just there are things that should have been higher on the priority list than they actually were.
And we're never going to know what that priority list is. I mean,
No.
it'd be nice to
We
know
won't.
that, like,
Well,
hey,
of course we know what the priority list was. What we got when the game launched. That was the priority list.
well, then
Now,
there's
where
the other
everything
question
else
of,
fell on the priority list, we won't know that.
well, and then there's the other question of, okay, for the like battle pass and customization system, how much of that was actually studio driven versus Xbox or
Oh, it was
Microsoft
100%
money?
driven by Microsoft.
So
Microsoft told them, this is what we want, put it in the game.
yeah, let's piss off our fans.
And I'm not saying that having the store is a bad thing. Having this store is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
There have been several people that have made videos about the store, and they all have at least one or two good points in their videos. The part where you can earn credits by playing, I can see, but it would have to be such a small amount that you would earn. And I'm comparing this with Destiny because this is the experience I have. Destiny does have an in-game currency system that will allow you to purchase stuff out of their store at no cost to you other than you grinding out their in-game currency. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it trickles in unless you play a lot of Destiny.
But I mean, at that point, it's like you're putting in the effort. It's kind of recognizing, hey, you've
Right.
put this time in. We're
But
going to give you something you can use.
there's another side to that. In the store, there's also items that are not available for in-game currency. They're only available for real cash.
Okay.
Well, the purchased currency.
Sure.
Why can't they just put $5.99 on it and just call it that?
Makes things so
Now-
much easier if you did.
Well, I can kind of understand the having a separate currency for purchases, because then they only have to display one currency instead of
That's true. That's good. Yeah. Okay.
dollars, pounds,
Yeah.
yen, whatever. So
Yep. Okay.
that I'm okay with. But okay, we have Destiny's Eververse, which is their store, and we've got the Halo store. In Destiny's store, you have random items that'll come up that you can buy with the in-game currency that you earn, and it is random what you get. And the prices for the random items are kind of expensive
Okay.
for the amount of in-game currency you can generate as a average player. The stuff that you purchase is not cheap, but it's not as expensive as what Halo does.
And I think that's one of the big problems or gripes.
When you
that
buy
you're-
something in Destiny, you'll buy an armor set. You can buy armor pieces if you want, but you can buy the whole set. And the whole set is a better value than buying the individual pieces. You can buy shaders, which is their version of armor coatings.
Okay.
You can buy different emblems for your ghosts, which equate to the emblems that you can buy in the Halo store. But the pricing is just way, way different, because in the Halo store, you get a piece of armor, and then you get 5 emblems for your weapons, for your Warthog, for your Wasp, for your tank. As far as the emblems, you get one emblem and you can apply it to everything. There's no individual emblems for individual pieces. You buy the emblem. Now, as far as the game side is, they can have it set up to where each individual piece has an emblem, but when you buy it, you get one emblem and it unlocks it for everything.
Yep.
2, The armor coatings need to be universal. Period.
Yeah, that's another thing I've heard.
I mean, this stuff that colors or armor coatings are locked to cores. No, that is just flat greed.
Yeah, that was a little stupid.
The fact that you can't mix and match your armor is also greed. There is no reason to lock people into specific cores because that actually discourages them from buying other armor. Because they'll find something they like and they'll stick with it.
And their whole thing of wanting to have like a Reach-like customization system, they
haven't even gotten close to Reach-like
Nope.
customization.
And I think that's a prime example of where you see Microsoft having influence on the development of the game that the devs didn't want to do.
Yeah. Honestly, the pricing, people are buying it up anyway. I don't care what you say about the pricing. They're making money hand over fist on that because people are just lapping it up.
I'm curious
The
how much
stuff
it
that-
is.
I'm sure it's
I mean, there's apparently enough to boost the winnings for the first HCS LAN event.
Yeah.
By $100,000.
I'm not saying that they've paid for the game yet, but I'm pretty sure they're doing pretty good on it.
Which is interesting because
the
I mean, a
player
lot of the
base-
community's up in arms
player
about
base-
how expensive things are.
Yeah. The player base that the game is targeting, they spend money on that stuff.
Yeah.
They're not exactly concerned with cost.
I mean, at this point, it's going to be the folks that it seems like just kind of, I guess, the more dedicated Halo fans seem to have a problem with it, but you have your just
Well, it is.
generic gamer.
This
come in
game
and buy
was
the
not
stuff.
designed, the store was not designed for a classic Halo player. Period.
I mean, there's even some newer Halo players that aren't a fan of the system.
I'm not saying it's a good system. It was not designed for people that know Halo,
Right.
that have played previous games,
Right.
or have, were watching the game as it came up for the last 20 years. It is not for us. It wasn't designed for us.
Yep.
Because if it was designed for us, it wouldn't exist.
Yeah. But
And
eventually
this is-
those casual players, they're gonna leave.
Yeah, the deal is you'll lose a casual player and you'll pick up 3 more.
I mean, there's
We'll
see.
The rotation of people is going to continue for several years. It's going to be a while before Infinite becomes a game that just gets put by the wayside.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
because
like it's
it's
gone that
free.
way pretty quick because of like no content. At
Well,
least
yeah.
it seems that way.
The biggest problem right now is Big Team Battle's broken.
Yeah, that's a huge
If
huge
Big Team
problem.
Battle hadn't been broken, the population wouldn't have fell off as much.
Oh, I agree.
It would still fall off, don't get me wrong. And whenever new content is announced and released, the population is going to swell again. And some of the players will stay for just that content. Once they consume that content, they'll go back to a different game. They'll go play Apex, or they'll go play Battlefield, or they'll go play Call of Duty. I said duty. Oh, anyway.
Yes, you did. How dare you?
These days, there is no loyalty to a game. A sizable chunk of the people that play games have a very short attention span. They play through the content of the game, and then they move to a different game. That's why Game Pass is so popular.
Yeah.
Same thing with, GameFly. That's what made them so popular. People could play a game, they got bored with it, they send it back, get another one.
It's interest. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly it falls off with no content here pretty soon.
Like I said, they're going to have to continue to develop content to keep the game going.
Yeah.
But we already know that they've got content in the works.
Yeah, but not for another 5 months.
Well, no big content, but they can still, we have no idea game types for sure. They are working on other game types. We have no idea when they're going to release them for sure. They could give us a couple new game types here in another month and a half.
It could. That would certainly help.
It could.
Something new.
It could be 6 months. It could be another 6 months before we see them.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do something. And right now, the biggest problem is fixing Big Team. Fixing Big Team will help, and it will draw people back in, but not like they were there before.
Yeah. Because
people that were playing Big Team, a lot of them probably don't even pay attention to the Halo Twitter to say, hey, it's fixed.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah. But to anybody that is a Halo fan, this game was, when it comes to the store, it just was not built for you.
It's just not. Sad.
Because we are not where the money is. We're old, grumpy, set in our ways. We want everything. We want to be able to unlock everything just by playing the game.
Yeah, we've been exposed to so many different things within the Halo franchise that we picking and choosing what things that we know have been staples in the game, and now they completely back turn on something that they said they were going to do, and it's like, really, you did this? But
like I said, when it comes to the stuff that's missing out of Halo, it's the stuff that they said they were going to do and said that would be included in the game and is not.
Right.
Like co-op, that should have been since it was promised, it should have been at the top of the list.
I mean, there's got to be a reason that it
was already promised. You already went public and said the game will have this. That's
didn't say it would have it at launch.
Right up there.
They didn't say they would have it at launch.
No, I know they didn't say it would have it at launch, but and they know that everybody expected it to be there.
Yes.
So that's one thing that really should have been there to begin with. There was no reason to cut that out.
That was promised before.
I understand that they were developing this through a pandemic. And the finishing touches I can understand. Like the problems that people had with the E3 trailer. How we got Craig. We had the janky movement of the Phantom. We had, the pop in of clouds.
Mm-hmm.
That, okay, fine. That I can attribute to the pandemic.
They just bit off a lot more than they could chew with the new engine, I think. And
the other stuff should have been addressed first. I can understand the textures and stuff being delayed because of COVID. The other stuff should have been pretty much finalized before COVID.
I mean, there's a lot of rudimentary stuff that's just not there, and it just seems that there's a lot of things that they wanted to focus on making sure that it was going to work. Like campaign at its core, like you want at least the single player campaign to work, so co-op's going to be something that gets put to the wayside. Same for multiplayer. You want multiplayer to work. You don't get Forge. You don't get the limited number of maps and modes. I mean, to some degree, I get it that you want the core to work, and I applaud them for taking those lashes and making sure that the game is at least stable for the most part, minus our big team battle matchmaking issues.
Yeah. I have no complaints about the performance of the game or what we got. I mean, what we got is what we got. The multiplayer stuff, it's fun. I mean, multiplayer is fun. I do enjoy it. It's taken some getting used to because things do feel different. I had to play around with my settings.
Yep.
Campaign's great. I have no complaints about campaign. But to hang so much of I'm trying to think how to put this. The campaign is not going to pay for the game. The amount of money they have invested in developing a new engine, developing multiplayer, developing campaign's not going to pay for the game. They're relying on this microtransaction system to pay for the game.
Well, the majority of Halo players were campaign players.
It's still not going to pay for 6 years of development.
With the $60 price tag? Yeah, they're going to be dipping into shared Xbox money probably.
Yeah. The game,
and we're speculating here,
the game
folks.
from the very
we obviously
beginning
don't have any inside knowledge, but we're just kind of
No,
speculating
we don't.
on things. Just
The
a disclaimer out there.
Yeah. Don't take what we're saying for the gospel. This is just kind of our theory crafting. Because, we don't have anything to talk about.
That's a good title for the podcast. I'm going to steal that.
Theory
craft.
Twice in a month? Anyway.
Hey, I mean, if you got the good ideas, I can take them, right?
They were not planning on the campaign making the game profitable. They were counting on multiplayer to make the game profitable.
Yep.
You
All
can
the
see
dang microtransactions.
Yeah. They suck. And I have, like I said, even in Halo 5, the only things that I bought were things that were cheap and things that couldn't unlock with breakpoints.
Right. Like the
Voices of War pack.
Yep.
Yeah. It was what, $6? Something like that?
Something like that, sure.
$6 or $10, something like that.
Yeah.
And like one voice in the Microsoft store was like $20 for one voice.
For Infinite?
Yeah.
I mean, to Cannon's point in our chat, people are spending the money. They're not going to change it.
Yeah, they're spending the money.
Like,
we tell everybody to vote with their wallets, but they're voting with their wallets because they're raking it in.
It's all the commoners that are screwing us over right now, as far as the store goes.
Well, we are not the market that the game is for.
But that market's got to change. Like, maybe they're just taking advantage of the initial upswing, but those commoners leave if there's not things to keep them playing.
Like I said, they got to. They do have to continue to add, but there's always going to be someone new picking up Halo because it's free. Somebody's going to be browsing the free tile or free list in Steam, say, "Oh, this looks good." Boom, install. I mean, how many free mobile games? They don't do anything.
But I mean, there's the point that the game is free, but then, like, I guess how much money do you spend on store stuff in addition to that?
I mean, look at any mobile game. Now, seriously, look at any mobile game. Like, any of the Candy Crush things or Bejeweled or anything. You do the same thing level after level after level, and the only thing that changes is the shape of the level. It's still the same game, just over and over again. And people play it for weeks an hour.
I mean, playing versus paying is different, though.
No, they pay. They pay for boosts. They pay for special candies. They pay for this. They pay for that.
Yeah, Pens, you're right. All the whales out there.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't play those games without spending money. You can play Halo without spending money. You're just not going to get anything.
I'm just kind of reiterating the fact that you have to think of the audience overall of who's playing the game, and I think that audience just might change. Like, if there's not going to be any content for 6 months, I would be very curious to see how much of that income starts to fall and drift. And I mean, we're not going to know.
The hardcore players are going to leave too. If there's no content, the hardcore players are going to leave as well.
To some extent.
I mean, look at past Halos. I mean
that's
the population falls off over time.
And then that's why we need Forge.
We need to get everything that we were promised. And then we need to make sure that there is a healthy list of game types to play, which what they have now is better. Don't get me wrong. It is a big improvement over just having the 4 game types. It's nice to actually have to scroll down to see all the game types.
Sure.
They need to fix BTB, priority 1. That will help sustain the population because that's the big social playlist.
Yep. That's the thing that's hurting right now.
I really hope that we get more content in the next 6 months. I mean, I understand that co-op and Forge are going to take a while, but they need to do something in between to keep people interested.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing there's some maps that were in development that aren't out yet that they could throw in there.
Yeah. And, honestly, they should, when it comes to the multiplayer, really, I think they should outsource the maps.
Bring Certain Affinity in. They've made great Halo maps before.
Yeah.
Actually, they may have been part of it. I can't remember if I remember seeing their name in the credits or not. I think I did, but...
And I understand that there's probably limitations because the engine was constantly changing as they updated the engine. But for multiplayer, I just don't see 6 years being required. I can understand the engine overhaul to handle the open world and the way they built the campaign.
Right.
The multiplayer side of it, I don't see anything in multiplayer that, to me, says new engine. I mean, in the physical playing of multiplayer. Not the customization, maybe the bots, but that would be about it.
I mean, I think it's just more underlying functionality, because there's still a core of the original engine in Halo to give it that Halo feel.
Yes.
It's just been updated and...
Basically, all I'm saying is when I look at multiplayer, I don't see any big leaps and bounds and changes that I should say justify 6 years. Campaign, definitely. I mean, look what we got for campaign.
Part of that's co-development with campaign, because it's got to match up.
Right. I really don't see how they could be that far behind on developing game modes and or multiplayer maps.
I mean, we can only speculate.
And we'll never know. They'll never release that information. So, all we can do is speculate. And I definitely ain't qualified.
Right.
So, I'm speaking more from, a layperson's perception of the game.
Well, and to that effect, also as a Halo fan, which I think everyone that's listening to us is probably most likely in the same boat as us. And if you're new to the podcast and you're not, then we definitely like to hear your side of what you think of how the customization system works and the costs out there with how expensive things are, at least from our perspective.
Like I said, when they announced that
jaded.
It was
in our thinking,
a little bit. I knew when they made the announcement free to play multiplayer that this game was not targeted towards the classic Halo player. I'm not saying they didn't design some elements in it for the classic Halo player.
I mean, I think a lot of people were expecting at least some kind of a microtransaction store like they have. It wasn't going to be so locked and restricted and expensive. Like I don't think.
Well, what I expected was basically put a price tag on Reach's customization.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people were thinking.
That's what I expected.
Yeah.
You have a tier in the past, like Destiny. They have a battle pass, like many other games.
Yep.
They have a paid tier and a free tier. The free tier, you get something every 10 levels. For the first few levels, you get basically junk. Until you get into like the second half of the battle pass, then you start getting, pieces of armor and
some other
weapon and some other stuff. But you have the free tier and you have the paid tier. The paid tier is $10. And that gives you everything in the battle pass. Well, Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, decided to have 3 tiers. You have the free tier, you have the battle pass, then you have the premium battle pass.
And then you have stuff on top of that.
So you go free, $10, $30. Okay, the $30 one needs to go away and it needs to be $10. You need to have the free and you need to have the pay. Especially with the prices you've got in the store.
think the prices is what's driving everybody crazy for the most.
Honestly, the store prices wouldn't hurt me so bad if they didn't charge me $30 for the battle pass.
Well, and what the joke was out there, last month? Yeah, it was $20 for a color, and that was pretty much it. $20 for a color. $20.
Yes, I'm not saying it. No, it's $20 for blue.
Yeah, $20 for blue, for light blue.
Yeah, it
just seems a little extra.
The colors, $1.99, and you unlock the color, and you can apply it to any armor you want.
Yeah, color should be the color. You should have the color.
That's what I thought we were going to get. That's why I was I was holding out my opinion of the armor coatings until we got the final system.
Right. Yep. And now that it's
with
here.
The current system, give me back my 3 colors. Either that or make them cheaper. And when you unlock a color, it's available for any armor core you have. Or vehicle, or weapon, or anything.
I mean, I'd be okay with maybe splitting up. Okay, you have the color coding for vehicles separate for the color coding for armor. But
no, if you buy
I'm just saying I'd be okay if they were split.
No, if you buy a color, it needs to unlock for everything. That's like buying multiple copies of the same emblem. You buy an emblem, it should unlock for everything.
I mean, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, if they had to split it, I'd be okay if that was the level of split.
I'm not even going to give them that.
Okay, fair enough.
When it comes to stuff like that, no. Same with vehicle skins. You buy a vehicle skin, it unlocks for all vehicles, not just one.
Makes the most sense.
When you buy an armor package, you get all the armor, especially at the prices they charge.
And you can mix and match those armors.
And we need to be able to mix and match the armor. Because that's what made Reach so cool.
Yeah.
That's what made Reach... That's what made Reach's customization system the best of all the Halos.
Yep.
Is the fact that we could mix and match 40 different sets of armor.
We even got a glimpse in that in Halo 3 with being able to mix and match some of the pieces. You can mix and match your legs with chest and arms and helmet. Yeah. I mean, it's only 4 things, but you can still mix and match. And there was a decent amount of uniqueness just with how limited Halo 3's customization was.
Yeah. It's just, they were saying that we were free to express ourselves.
Not in this system.
Not with what you gave us.
Nope. Not in this system.
You're telling me with this armor core, I can only wear this helmet, I can only wear these arms, I can only wear these legs, I can only wear these knee pads, and I can only be this color. No.
Right.
That is not giving me the freedom to be who I want to be.
Yep. We've been on this tangent long enough. Taking up half the podcast.
That's just our thoughts on the store.
Yes. And we're just old Halo jaded guys.
Just old and grumpy.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be some changes made to the store. Because I
certainly hope so.
I'm not opposed to the store.
I'm not either. Just the current implementation needs a lot of work and overhaul.
What I'm opposed to is mainly the lack of customization. Maybe I want to have a Mark IV helmet on a Mark VII chest with Mark VI legs. I don't care.
And they said that's what we were going to get a year ago.
No. They said, if you liked Reach's customization, you'll love Infinite's.
Okay, so they didn't say that. They didn't say that verbatim, but that was heavily implied. Right.
They said if we liked what we could do in Reach, we're going to love Infinite's. Well, we're not even to the point where we were in Reach.
Yeah, we can't even match Reach right now.
So they fell short.
Yeah, they certainly did.
I mean, right now, I'm still rocking the basic Spartan.
People are buying emblems on eBay.
Stuff.
Oh my gosh. It really is that bad, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. No end in sight. If that's the case, I'm with you, Dusk. That's not changing anytime soon.
I mean, Microsoft is making money on it, or it would already been changed.
Well,
if the game launched and nobody spent any money in the store, it would have already been changed.
But I mean, I think people were going to spend that initial amount of money anyway. So I'm really curious to see how long it can keep up that way. Like, I'm curious to see, does that spending trend go and dip down to a point where they will have to make a change in order to actually keep selling things? Like, and we're not going to know that.
Yeah, the people that are buying things are not the people that opened to the store and said, wow, that's expensive, I'll buy it anyway. Anybody that has a problem with the pricing in the store or what you get from the store has not bought anything.
Yeah, just don't buy anything.
They haven't bought anything. The only thing I bought was the premium battle pass because I wanted to give the battle pass a chance. I wanted to see what it was all about, how they had it all set up, and that's the only way you could do it, is to buy the whole pass.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw it was $30, I'm like, okay, you'll get me once, but that's going to be it.
Right.
And then to see how they laid out the pass, I'm like, I think I got duped.
Well, and I don't even think past the first season of Battle Pass, there's even going to be any free stuff for the next Battle Pass, because it's, from what I remember in their little Vidoc about Battle Passes, the first one is free. They didn't say anything about having any free kind of Battle Pass tier for subsequent seasons.
Technically, the first Battle Pass wasn't free.
Well, there were free items, though. There
were free items, but the Battle Pass itself was not free.
Right, so I'm wondering if there's even going to be free items for the next season.
I imagine they will still have a free tier, but you're probably only going to get like XP boosts, things that you can't use. Maybe late in the past, you might get they might spread out a set of armor in there.
Right.
I mean, honestly, right now, about the only thing I'm really rocking towards is George's armor, and then that'll be pretty much it for me.
I mean,
then I won't be able to be Gray anymore because Gray won't work on his armor, I'm sure.
I'll get Mark 6 or Mark 7, and that'll be it.
I mean, I have not, with the current implementation of the customization, I don't see myself tinkering with it a lot. It's like in Destiny, you can tinker all you want. You can make yourself look like whatever you want. The only thing I ever looked at is the stats on the armor. I don't care what it looked like, because that's all that mattered.
Okay.
So, I mean, the armor does nothing for you in Infinite, so what do I care?
And that's just what us old Halo cronies are thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope there's some changes made, but I'm not holding my breath.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Curious to see what happens.
Time will tell, but like I said, I'm just not holding my breath for any major changes in content and or pricing.
Time will tell. Time will be the tale.
Now, I do see some changes, possibly with the whole Armor Core lockdown thing. I see possibly that changing.
I've been so out of touch over the last couple of weeks.
But even that is still a real maybe. So,
yeah, I was gonna say
we beat that horse till it was dead.
We did. We did. I didn't think we'd have a lot to talk about in the podcast tonight, but we hit our hour mark.
Yeah,
we certainly did.
So, what are you looking forward to for 2022?
2022. Are we keeping this Halo specific, or are we just saying?
I don't care.
Well, I guess I'll start with the Halo specific stuff. We're getting the new TV show, so
definitely.
I'm definitely curious about that.
I'll have to wait until somebody puts up on YouTube so I can watch it.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of develop the story around it not being canonical or semi-canonical, I guess.
As long as they don't go off the rails like they did with Reach, I'll probably be the cartoon or anime, The Fall of Reach. as long
Oh,
as it
yes.
goes that way,
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
I mean, it seems like the production quality just from the trailer is pretty good. It seems like they've had 7 years since they announced
Yeah.
it to work on it. So, Kanan, this is a completely separate side. Like, the 343 Studios doesn't have anything to do with the TV show. It's completely...
All they're doing is consultating on story.
Yeah, there's no impact to fixing the game with the TV show. There's none.
Actually, I think the only 343 employee involved with it is Kiki, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you have some of the universe
like
folks
Jeff,
as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
so Jeff and Frankie,
I'm sure, are involved too. But I mean, Kiki's the only one that's probably really regularly involved with it.
Yeah, and some other execs. But yeah. The actual arm
Nobody's
of the studio
game.
that develops the game is fixing the game has nothing to do with the TV show. Nothing to do with the TV show. So I'm definitely curious of that. Obviously, a video game adaptation to movie or TV is something that's we have very scarce good examples of it. There's been a lot more that have been actually good recently, which is hopeful. Although Free Guy wasn't based on a video game specifically, it's gotten a lot of praise, and it was very video game themed. The Witcher TV series I hear is very good. So it seems like we're finally kind of cresting on those like good video game adaptations into TV and theater media. So I'm hopeful.
Hey, Ready Player One was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that was a good one too. Haven't read the book, but the movie
I haven't read the book and probably never will read the book, but the movie was good.
Yeah, movie was good. So I'm hopeful on that.
Although Overwatch got too much screen time over Halo.
It's been a while for me to really know what that
Halo showed. Let's see if I remember. Let's see. Halo.
I mean, Halo didn't show up that much.
Shows up. I think Halo shows up like 3 times, and Overwatch is like 6.
Well, Overwatch was a lot more relevant.
Yeah,
at the time.
Different. I mean, just different characters from Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, you could make that movie, the same exact movie, 3 years apart, and the video game references would be different every single time.
Oh yeah, they would be.
Every single time. Easy.
I just love the fact that in the opening of the movie, you see a Halo reference.
And then you don't get one until the very end, big battle, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think there's one other one in the middle there, like with the Warthog or a Ghost or something like that. But other than that, there's probably a Warthog in the race, actually. Probably in
I don't remember if there is one.
Mixed. I mean, I'd be surprised if it wasn't in there, mixed in with the DeLorean and everything else that's in there.
Well, most of the cars in there were the Sixers cars, so they were all the same.
True. So
random facts.
Yeah, there's that. Looking forward to the construction of my house getting done.
Yeah, well, that's self-inflicted.
Yes, it is, but it'd still be nice to be done.
Yeah.
So for those on the stream and I guess for those listening, I am currently in a cage of plastic. I have plastic.
Dust got put in a box.
Have to keep the dust separated. They're cutting some of the ceiling down here because they're running gas lines from where it's coming into the house up to the kitchen, as I'm getting a new gas range in the kitchen, which will be really nice. So looking forward for that being done this year.
And if you guys want, go head over to our Discord. You can see me in a box too. Well, inside Halo Infinite, but
right.
Let me out.
I am looking forward to going to Seattle for the HCS finals in October. Actually going and seeing some Halo friends in person for a change will be nice. Hopefully COVID doesn't have any other plans around that time.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's so many crazy stories, like just the whole variety of stories coming out of like, oh, Omicron might be the last big COVID variant, and pandemic might be endemic, and there's a new variant now. Well, it's like no one really knows.
I can see COVID becoming endemic, but it's still going to be a problem for a while.
Oh, sure.
I mean, today, 3 cities right around me announced mandatory mask orders again.
We have mandatory masks here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we haven't had, I mean, we haven't had any cities that have mandated masks around me for 8 months. Because numbers had dropped to the point where they felt that it was safe. No, I guess probably hasn't been that long. Probably since, it really actually started warming up. So it's maybe 6 months.
Yeah, we were.
But yeah, we're slowly locking down again.
But I mean, the vaccine is doing its job. It's preventing more deaths, so not as many people are dying. Granted, there's a lot more hospitalizations right now, but it's.
Well, I've heard.
Thankfully, the effects of it are not as severe. It is definitely spreading a lot more now, but at least it's not as severe. So, thanks, Prestige, for the resub.
One of our local stations talks with a doctor. I think he's in New York. Mm-hmm. And he said he's currently treating 25 COVID cases. All 25 of those cases are people that are not in the hospital. And they're dealing with strong flu type situations.
Symptoms.
As far as discomfort and threat, that's the point that they're at. They're being treated and they're improving, and they've all had the vaccine. So, yes, you can still get COVID if you've been vaccinated.
I mean, I got COVID.
But the difference is being home in your bed feeling like crap, or being in the ICU with a tube stuffed down your throat feeling like crap.
Well, and the potential of further health issues.
Yeah, I mean, either way, yes, it's bad. It's not going to go away anytime soon. I am looking forward to not being concerned with going to another public place, like being able to go to a concert and wonder if I'm going to have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, concerts and cruises, all that is kind of risky.
I really don't want to do a cruise anyway, but I didn't want to do them before COVID. I'm sorry, 5,000 people stuck in a sardine can, just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I don't like crowds. I'm looking forward to being able to finish at least one of my projects to where I can either start driving my truck or getting rid of my motorcycle so I can buy something else.
Okay.
I am looking forward to the Halo TV show. I'm looking forward to the updates that will be coming to Infinite throughout the year.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to hopefully not having a stressful personal life for this year.
Okay. Oh, that kind of reminds me of a few other things. I'm hoping to get to my goal weight of under 270. I'm working on it. With the trainer that we have. Also, at some point, I don't know if Virgil is in the cards for this year, but I still would like to work on Virgil. There's a whole bunch of things that I need to work on before I actually get back to coding Virgil, but that is something I would like to do still.
You get Virgil in the Podtacular one so we could battle.
I need to start coding Virgil. I only have a shell. Like, there's nothing really there for Virgil right now. It's just a shell, and then I'm working on my first step is getting the React and Express JS libraries to serve web calls and web pages so that it can be configured. That's my first step, and then to code in the core functionality from my Virtual bot version of Halo Hub, and that's not really something I can add to other Discord servers because that's hard coded to a specific server. It wouldn't. I'd have to add more code in there for it to actually handle separate servers, and that code just doesn't exist right now. But it'd be reusing some of that code and modifying it to where it could be used in multiple servers. So that is something I would like to still work on. I still have aspirations to do that. There's something else I had thought of, but now I'm drawing the blank on what it was. Yeah, I'm like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it's been a slug of a week. I am tired and exhausted. If people can't tell that from the recording and from the live stream, it's been a heck of a week. But we actually had quite a few people in the chat tonight and quite a bit of engagement. So
yes, we have reached over 100 messages in chat tonight. Thank you very much.
Which, I mean, there's some podcast nights where it's dead. So thank you all for participating in our discussion and helping contribute to our rant of infinite store problems.
Well, I mean, it's kind of something we probably should have talked about a long time ago. It just hadn't come up yet.
Yeah. And this is only our third podcast, I think, since Infinite came out.
Yep.
Something like that. Maybe 100% MCC? Lazo achievements? Maybe?
Yeah, not me. I might get all the rest of them, but I'm still...
I will keep my checkpoints for you if you want to use my Lazo checkpoints to get the achievement.
I only need one, the end one.
The which one?
The last checkpoint.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, where you complete it.
Yeah, my goal is to play all the campaign playlists through, and have the have all those last checkpoints for those playlists. So if anyone else needs that, I can also help with that. I mean, there's other people out there that have those anyways. I'm sure if you could find people on the Halo Completionist Discord that would more than happily.
I know if I get them, it's not going to be the legit way.
Yeah. I'm going to do at least one legit, and then based on how that goes...
I'll do Halo Infinite legit.
That's not part of MCC.
I'm not confirming or denying the tank gun.
Oh, I will heavily be using every single... I'm going to use the tank gun. I'm going to use the Pelican glitch. I'm going to do the invulnerable glitch through the barrier to skip over more than half of the game. I don't know if...
I will say that I do actually plan on doing an actual full run of Lazo in Infinite.
Okay.
And not cheat it like some other people. When it comes to a speed run, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I do want to actually complete the campaign. I would really like to be able to say I completed it on Lasso and I played the whole campaign.
With the tank gun.
But yes, tank gun. And
with the
maybe a rocket launcher too.
I mean,
or
yeah.
3.
Right.
Hey, I wonder if the bandana skull works on turrets. Ooh, I need to test it.
I mean, turrets are... Well, oh. You mean the actual turrets, not the tank gun.
Yeah, you break off a turret, do you get infinite ammo?
It's a good question.
Like I said, I need to find out if that works on turrets.
Exactly, MH. I am going to cut half the game out on my run. Because I can. We have the technology.
Although I can't... I find it just sheer amazing that they found out how to cut half the game out in, the third week the game was out? Second week the game was out?
These speedrunners find every nook and cranny. Every nook and cranny.
But to find a skip that freaking big?
Yeah. I mean, it's insane, but yeah.
I mean, the stuff that Mint Blitz does is just crazy.
Mint Blitz, Monopoly, Joker, Eli when he was doing it. Yeah. Which, I don't think he'd mind if I say this, but he got married this past weekend.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Well, congratulations.
Yep. Nick and Eli's married now.
Now he has to walk around with clothes on. He's married.
Right. So, yeah. That's going to be it for the podcast tonight. No special ending other than I'll shout out, since they're here, Pins, Prestige, and Confal for being our loyal patrons. Also for being subscribers over on Twitch. Thank you all for the support. We got a few other subscribers over here. If you don't have a subscription, ask Pins for one. He'll more than likely give you one. Just for the sake of the bingo card, because this is a completely off-the-wall podcast. Halsey's Journal, I Love Bees, Hunt the Truth, No, we do not have MySpace. What else am I have not finished the book. I'm sorry. I'm 76% through my latest Halo book. I will most likely finish on Monday since Monday's a government holiday. We did start the podcast late. I don't know if that got anyone a bingo in their tracking of bingo.
Oh, I'm a long ways away.
I mean, I don't have any possible bingo.
I have one, here. But it's not going to happen. So,
you want to praise an Xbox app? Apparently, that's one of them.
No, not tonight.
No,
I don't want to praise one. That's for damn sure.
Well, you don't like the HBO app or the Amazon Prime Video app or the Netflix app?
Actually, the Prime app I like. I don't have HBO, so I can't tell you there.
There you go. I'm going to count that as Godzilla praises an Xbox app. Likes the Netflix one.
Well, no, that's the Xbox app, not a Xbox app.
No, it says Godzilla praises an Xbox app. It doesn't say the Xbox app.
Pans, you screwed that one
up. It's just topic cover talked about the end of finals happening in October.
Fine, I will fix it.
He will fix it. Prestige is back into streaming. He says he's rebranded. Aaron, that's right. And technically, in 3 minutes will be the minute I was born, 33 years ago.
Damn, I wish I was 33 again. My freaking knees didn't hurt that much.
Anyways.
Happy birthday, Dust.
Thank you. Thank you. Gonna get some steak and seafood tomorrow to celebrate.
Nice.
My wife got me a fruit arrangement, so we'll be enjoying that throughout the weekend. I have a gift from her. I have not had a chance to open it today because today has been just so crazy, so I'll open it tomorrow.
I would probably open that before you go to bed.
No, I've already talked to her about it. We're going to open it tomorrow. Tomorrow's I took tomorrow off for my birthday, so tomorrow's kind of my birthday
Pence, I'm
celebration day. So tomorrow is kind of shoehorned my birthday for the most part.
So everybody light up Dust Twitter.
If you so choose. You don't have to, but...
No, you must light up Twitter.
And another thing, we have a new bingo card, but for game nights.
Yay!
A lot of them are pretty similar to the bingo card that we have for the podcast streams, but there are a few differences. Just then there are some things that we happen on game night that don't happen during the podcast, and vice versa. Not sure where this one came from, but there's one in there about Chiron TL34 spoken in glowing terms. I guess that's just because I love Chiron TL34. I guess. Anyways, so
yeah, game file share is praised. Sure,
I don't know about praised. I'm not sure if it's ever going to get praised.
Yeah, well, at least not for Halo 5.
And I asked about this one. I don't know how this one... Someone in Twitch chat is flooded by game invites. I don't know how we're going to confirm if someone's flooded with game invites. Not sure how that one works.
Oh, it's usually pretty easy to tell. Because that'll be the one that lags out. Which I need to finish that this weekend.
Finish what this weekend?
I have something special for that.
Oh, check us out. Fridays, Fragging Friday, GT hosts. We'll have a poll up in Discord. Podtacular.com/Discord. I'm assuming we're just doing the normal 3 again.
Sure, why not?
Cool. So that's going to happen. Fridays, Achieving Halo, and Sundays. Fragging Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Friday time. I will not be there tomorrow because birthday celebration. And Achieving Halo.
Fine.
I might hop in on the tail end depending on how late we get back from dinner. And then we have Achieving Halo Sundays between 9:30 and 10 is our start time. Sometimes I hop on early. And since 360 games are not there anymore, we'll probably be hopping on the mix of MCC for those achievements and Halo Infinite because I have gotten next to nil on actual multiplayer Halo Infinite achievements. And I also have the Infinite campaign laser video as well. So probably mixing both of those. in there somewhere. Check our socials: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Any final thoughts, GT?
Everybody have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you on Friday night for Fraggin' Fridays.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Keep on fragging them trucks.